guys, it's Kim here with Fairily Fiber Fun. Thanks for joining me on episode 52. So I got quite a packed episode today, but that's kind of normal, right? In today's episode, we will be talking about some spins that I have done and are in progress, knitting both finished objects in progress, new knitting designs, prepping for upcoming classes, custom orders, and we will discuss a few fun, exciting things that have happened in the month of June. But before we get started, I would like to give a very warm welcome to new viewers and a welcome back to returning viewers. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss new videos as they come out. And as always, leave your comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section below. So, I have 3 pages of notes today, handwritten. But let's get started with the spinning, as it's probably the easiest to talk through. So the first spin that I want to mention, and these are not in the order that I've done them, they're just in the order I wrote them down. So the first one is a purple sequin spin. It's pastel purple. It's from my Mother's Day box from last year, and I did spin the whole thing and get it plied. And it is part of my Tour de Fleece plans video, so you will see it there if you go watch that. I will try to remember to put a little card up here. I think this is the side. I can never remember. When I'm watching, it's always on this side of the screen, so I never can remember. Anyway, that is the first spin that I can remember completing in the month of June. I also did some art yarn spinning as a demo for Appalachian Gap's open house that they had in the beginning of June. And this is the final yarn from that. I spun and plied it there as part of the demo and then took it home, skeined it up about a week later, skeined it, and finally got it washed when I had a few other spins complete. Next, we have a couple of Ko-fi Fiber subscriber spins. So I started my Fiber subscription over on Ko-fi near the end of last year, and the first couple of colors that I sent out were actually dye samples that I did to see how the colors would work for a custom order. And they were Wizard of Oz themed. So the first one, I think I named it The Wicked Witch of the East because she was wearing the ruby slippers when Dorothy's house fell on her and squashed her, and that's how Dorothy got her slippers. But I spun this up. It's green and black on both ends and red in the middle. So I spun this end to end, no stripping it, none of that. And then I chain plied it so it is a double gradient. It's perfect, it's wonderful, it's beautiful, and I have 0 plans for it. And I don't remember how many yards I've got, but I do have that written down somewhere. Next we have the second demo spin that I did for Appalachian Gap, and that is over by the Artful barn where they just moved locations. And I spun this during the Artful barn's grand opening. I was a vendor. I will insert some pictures and stuff of that. But I was a vendor there, and it was busy as far as people coming to talk and coming to go into the Appalachian Gap store. But I didn't sell much. I sold one thing. I wasn't there to sell. I had my stuff in case people wanted to buy, but I was there to demo spin. And I did, and I spun up an entire 4 ounces, and this is, you can only see the outer part. Some of the colors you can see in here, but this is lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! I finally got around to spinning it. I need to chain ply this, and then it will be done. I just haven't sat down at my wheel since then. I've been really struggling because I was in the heat way too much that day. It was extremely hot and muggy. I did stay hydrated, but I struggled for about a week after that to get my energy back, and then I've been dealing with some migraines. So lovely. right? The end of June has just not been the greatest as far as the weather goes. And that has been affecting me here lately. So when the barometric pressure is doing drastic changes, I suffer from extreme vertigo, and it gets to the point where I can barely stand up straight. So yeah, it's been hard to get stuff done while the world has been tilt-whirling around me. But I have managed to survive in it. I've still been able to drive. I've just minimized the driving as much as I could and did the best I could to push through and get stuff done. It isn't stopping me from working. It's just really, really annoying to try to do something and feel like I'm falling over. So that's June for me, the end of June. I think we have another hurricane forming over the Gulf of Mexico or something. Excuse me, the Gulf of America. The bottom of Florida, something. So there's storm systems moving in and out constantly, and it is affecting my inner ears. The other spin that I got done. Okay, this was the first one. You've already seen it. This is my wool and bamboo blend. It is 60% wool, 40% bamboo, and love it very, very much. This was the first skein that I did in May, and this is the second skein that I spun up in June. Got it done. They look to be about the same, so woohoo on that. Very consistent spinning for me. I have 450 yards on the second skein and 424 yards on the first one, which means I either spun a little bit thinner, a little bit more consistent, or two of the bats weighed slightly more than the first two, or both. But anyway, I am very, very happy with these, happy to have them done, and cannot wait to choose a pattern to knit this yarn into. And it might be my own pattern, you never know. We'll get to that in a bit. But that is the spinning that I accomplished in June, and I am so super happy with that progress. It was way more than I anticipated doing leading up to Tour de Fleece, which is in a few days. So I've kind of taken a break, and like, it can wait until July starts up, and then I can get back into spinning again. So yes, happy, very happy with the spinning, and happy to have so many of my yarns and stuff at the Appalachia Gap art store. My first class, while we're talking about it, did not happen. No one signed up for it, but that's okay because it didn't go on the schedule until the middle of the move, and that was just chaos, and we didn't expect all the classes in June to be a huge success. So we will try again for July. I will give you that information in a later part of this episode. So stay tuned, please, for that. Okay. Now we are on to knitting, because that was all the spinning that I have to discuss. There was probably more spinning happening, but I don't have it with me because it's already at the store. And I don't remember it because this month has been crazy. It's just been crazy. For knitting, I know I was knitting the Leah Tunic by Pearl Soho with this cone of linen yarn. I was knitting it in two pieces, flat instead of knitting it in the round, and it was going to be giving me, just the front was going to give me about 8 inches of positive ease. And I did not want it that big, so I was ready to do the armhole shaping. It's knit bottom up, and I was like, you know what, it's too big. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. So I ripped it out, and I found a Victorian, well, a vintage, not Victorian, a vintage pattern for a camisole. Turns out the camisole is supposed to be knit with wool, and it's knit on huge needles, so you can see right through it. It's a neat little pattern. I like the way it's working up, but I'm going to frog it. It's the right size. In fact, it might be a little big, but I want it to be This is not what I was looking for. I don't know what is wrong with this yarn. I have tried 4 different patterns with this yarn, or 5 by now. I think it's the color. And I need wooden needles, which I do have now. So I'm going to try another pattern. I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to rip it out, set it aside, and I'll come back to it another time with a totally different pattern and wooden needles that are less likely for the stitches to just slide off, because this linen yarn is incredibly slippery. It's soft, it's beautiful, it splits like crazy, and I'm not feeling the color. I think it's the color. So this is going to go back to timeout. I'm not going to work on it through Tour de Fleece because I have other exciting projects to work on. So that's the update on the Leah tunic. It is no longer happening. Not because of the pattern, because of the yarn. But I do have a couple of finished projects to share with you. One of them I'm using, even though the ends are not woven in, and that is my new design project bag. I do not have a name for this, but I use this. Can I English today? I knit this out of handspun yarns that I held 3 different yarns together, and as soon as I ran out of one color, I just put it in a different color, and when I ran out of a color, I put it in a different color. So this is a great project for using scraps and doing marling. You could use bulky yarn, you can use thin yarn and hold them together. You can do this however you want. The pattern is written in 2 different gauges to give you an idea of how to knit it in different ways. I've only knit the one so far. I will knit the other one at some point. The bottom is double layers so that it is knit stitches on the top, on the outside, and on the inside. All the purl stitches are sandwiched. There's a neat little ridge all around the edge where you pick up your stitches for the body, which is very complicated. You have to hold the bag with the bottom facing you and then pick up from the other side, stick your needle through the other side and grab the yarn from the bottom. Complicated, but I have tried to describe it clearly in the pattern, and I have some pictures. I may do a video tutorial for this at some point. The pattern states to use an I-cord, 2 I-cords to close the bag, and I was lazy, so I just used ribbon, and I might change the pattern and say, hey, you can use ribbon or you can do I-cords. I'm using ribbon because I'm lazy, and I changed how I threaded the ribbon in here this morning, and I really like it a lot better. And then I made little handles, so now my bag does not open all the way because the ribbon is too short, but I don't care. I really like it. I like the size. And inside here I have my other new project that I will talk about in just a second. I have not woven in the ends, but here is the inside of the bag. I have adjusted the pattern a little bit to eliminate the little nipple forming here in the center at the end of your bag. That's why that's on the inside, because I don't like the way it looks. So the only thing I have to do is weave in the ends. This pattern does not require blocking, and I think it was a huge success. I have not blocked it. I'm not going to block it. It doesn't matter. It's a project bag, right? I'm going to hopefully send it out to testers in August. So if you're interested, shoot me a message on Facebook, shoot me an email. I don't check the Fairily Fiber Fun email very often, but it is linked below. So you can shoot me an email from the video description. You can message me on Instagram or Facebook. I check those regularly. So yeah. If you're interested in testing this little project bag, it's so much fun to make, and I made it in 2 days. I hurt my hands, but I made it in 2 days. But it is a bulky bag, and it was knit on very large needles. So I knit this cast on June 7th and bound off on June 9th. And that included redoing the whole bag because I was like halfway through and I was like, I don't like this. I want to do it different. And so I redid the last few increases on the bottom circle part, the base, and then I did the double base. And I liked that much better. So I didn't have to rip the whole thing out. I used, I think, US 10 needles, which is 8 millimeter, 9 millimeter. I don't remember. I have it on my other notes and forgot to put that on these notes. Because when I'm making my show notes, I usually just make a list and put the pertinent information, and then I go through and I rewrite it with the details and put everything in order that I want to film in. And I forgot to transfer information, but that's okay. This is in my Ravelry page, projects page. So if you want to see the details, you go in there. And it will become a written pattern, a published pattern. It's probably going to be a free pattern, but I still want it to be tested. So message me if you want to test it. And I totally forgot to pull out the project that's in here. So I'll leave that next to me. Second finished project, and this one I have been using, and the ends are all woven in, so it's 100% done, not 99% done. This is my newest finished design, not finished pattern, but it is written and I am following it again. So this one is in the works, but this is pajama shorts for me, for my body, for what I want in pajama shorts. And I am making this pattern because I cannot find what I want in the store and my pajama shorts are falling apart. So I need new ones. So I decided to design a pattern and make my own. It has a folded over waistband with an opening so you can insert elastic. I'm leaving the opening open so I can adjust the elastic as needed. It does occasionally twist in here, but it's pretty easy to untwist it. I ran out of the one color and just added in the other color. I had bought this yarn a long, long time ago. It is Happy Feet XL, which is very thick sock yarn. So it is not fingering weight. I knit this on US 6 needles, which is 4 millimeter. And I love it. The legs are a little too short for my taste. I did put ribbing on the end, and I don't care for the ribbing. I didn't do a stretchy bind off. I didn't want it stretchy. I wanted it cinched in. So it's a little uncomfortable until I've been wearing it for a little while. It does stretch, but not a huge amount. My only issue is, well, it took 4 tries to get the size small enough, and I still didn't get it right. Because I forgot how much this yarn grows. It is superwash wool, and it grows lengthwise like crazy. So after I've worn this twice, it's way too big. It's pretty comfortable the first day. It's okay the second day, or night rather. By the third one, it's just too big and bulky and is rumpling around on me and just not comfortable. So I am reknitting this with thinner yarn, same needles, and that's what's in my project bag. And we're calling this my chili pepper socks because of the chili pepper shorts, not socks, because of the yarn, but that's not the pattern name. And I had 2 skeins, and one was a little bit lighter than the other one. I'm almost done. I cast these on, let's see, when did I cast this one on? I don't have that in here. I don't have that info written down. Again, it didn't transfer. I cast these off on June 19th or 20th, I think. And almost immediately cast on a new pair. So I knew I wanted a second pair. So I cast these on, same number of stitches, same size needles. My gauge is smaller because the yarn is smaller. And I'm hoping that that makes all the difference. Did not take into account the fact that when your row gauge is shorter, your short rows don't add as much length as they did when your row gauge is bigger. So I need a 2.5 inch rise minimum in the back, and I'm getting 1 inch. So these are much higher in the front than in the back, but it'll work. It'll be fine. It's just pajamas. I'm going to knit a third pair with the new changes I've made to the pattern, and we will see how that works. I'm making the legs a lot longer. I'm writing the pattern for shorter legs, longer legs. Also doing my bind off is purl a row, purl around, knit around, do a standard bind off on larger needles. So I went up from 4mm to 6mm, I think. I went up from US 6 to US 8, whatever millimeters that is. To do the bind off, I just used a DPN, and that kept the bind off from being too tight. So I'm excited. I want this done already. I wanted it done 3 days ago, and I've just been busy doing all the things, and not feeling well. So these are taking a while, and also smaller gauge means more knitting to create the final product. But yeah, I need to measure my gauge on this. The pattern will be written for this gauge instead of this one. And then I have to do size grading, and I'm very intimidated by that. I've never done that before. I've only graded down or up to whatever size I am. So this is going to be new for me. I know how to do it. I'm just scared to do it, but it'll happen. It'll happen. And this is a great project for leftover sock yarns, or, if you have 1.5 skeins, it should work, like 150 grams, something like that, depending on the yardage. But all of that will be in the pattern, and I don't have a clue when that's going out to testers because it's in the tweaking stages, and looking at my written pattern right now is an absolute disaster. It's just a mess. There's no, here's this section, here's this section, here's this section, and that's how I like to write my patterns, because it's clear and concise, and we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm proud that I've sat down and wrote the pattern, and it looks cohesive and everything for the project bag. I have pictures to put in there. I have more pictures to take. I have another project bag to knit and maybe do a little tutorial on it. We'll see. Lots to do, but I have another project currently on the needles, and I am designing a new pattern, and this was yarn that I bought for making shorts, because I don't like cheap cotton yarn from Walmart that comes on a cone, the Lily Sugar and Cream or Peaches and Cream or whatever brand it is from Walmart. That stuff drives me nuts. I tried, don't like it. It just, ugh. So I bought some 50% cotton, 50% bamboo yarn. It is Viking Garn yarn. And I love it. I love the color. As soon as I opened the package, I went, I know what this is supposed to be. It's not shorts. So I started designing. I was inspired by Kotova Kika and her latest summer blouse and skirt set that she has designed. I don't think it's been released yet, but she filmed a little video of the design process for the top, and I was so inspired by a little tiny clip of when she had just separated the sleeves and the body, and I saw the sleeves just had this pretty little lace design on them, and I went, I wanted to make something like that. So of course I make something totally different, but that's okay. The inspiration hit, and we went from there. So I am making a little top with a lace detail that's going down the sleeves from the neck. This is a raglan top. It is knit back and forth with short rows, with increases, with lace, until it's low enough in the front, and then cast on the appropriate number of stitches to make it the same as the back, and then knit in the round from then on out, continuing the increases for the raglan and the lace pattern. So it's a lot going on in this. It's my most complicated design yet, and it is very simple. So it's stockinette on the front and back, lace only on a portion of the sleeves, not the whole thing. Just a little lace pattern that just goes down. It's beautiful. I love it. I'm loving the yarn. So far it fits. I've tried it on. It fits perfect. And at the time I tried it on, I had 2 more lace repeats to do, but I have just 1 left, and then I can split for the sleeves. So I'm really excited about this. I am putting my pattern notes in my phone instead of in a Google Doc because I didn't have my computer with me when I started writing my notes. I just stuck it in my phone. But I will get them translated over to Google Docs when I officially write up the pattern. So I'm very excited about this one. There is no deadline for this to get out to testers or anything. Don't know if I ever will. I know I want to publish the shorts. I know I'm publishing the bag. I probably am going to publish this pattern as well, but I want to knit about 3 of them first and then make up my mind. Make sure I get everything right because that's a really big, important pattern, and the size grading and everything needs to be just right. Yeah, so that's a lot of work, and I'm currently in knitwear design mode. So everything else just gets pushed to the back burner, and I need to learn balance, but, you know, we go with the hyper focus. When it hits hard, we just go with it. So that is everything I am working on and everything I need to frog. It's a lot. I feel like I've got way too much going on. I still have baby socks I'm supposed to be knitting, as that is a pattern I need to finish writing and get published, send out to testers and get published. I've got 2 adult socks for me in the works. One of them, I have the first sock done and I need to knit the second one, and the other one is just a scrap sock that I need to finish knitting and knit the second one. And I don't want to, so I'm not. But as far as my using up sock yarn stash goes, it's going pretty well. I'm doing good with it. And at the end of the year, I will have a how much yarn did I use, how much of the sock yarn stash did I use in 2025. So that's a video I have planned, and if I forget, I'm sorry, but right now that's a video I have planned, and it will happen in January of 2026. Okay, so now we are done with all the knitting and all the spinning. I have a few custom orders that I'm working on or supposed to be working on. I actually have 3, but one of them is for July. Actually, 2 of them now. I'm still going to tell you about them, okay? So the first custom order, I've actually partially finished it, and it was to dye up 3 colorways from the Alice in Wonderland collection on merino. Hold on. And then turn them into Rolex. So we have Alice, and I originally dyed up 3 braids of each color. So when I dyed up 1, I just cut my recipe in half, and the colors are much more vibrant because I should have done thirds, but my brain couldn't do what is a third of a quarter teaspoon or an eighth of a teaspoon. So yeah, I just cut everything in half and went with it. So the colors are more vibrant. That's fine. This one is Painting the Roses, and this one is, I think this is the rabbit, the very, very late rabbit. If it's not, it's Tweedledee and Tweedledum. So I cannot remember. They're very similar, and I don't remember, but I think this is the rabbit. So yes, I have to make 12 sets of Rolex because these are 4 ounces. My customer wants sparkles. So I'll be adding sparkles, they're going to be white sparkles, undyed. I just ordered a whole bunch of Firestar. So I have undyed, and I'm just going to add undyed to this, and it will be beautiful. If I feel like adding colorful sparkles, I will. We'll see. When I get to doing that, it will be a vlog when I get it done, and I'm hopefully going to get that done this week because it's already paid for. I need to get it shipped out. She's very patient, but still. I can't just sit on my laurels and twiddle my thumbs and expect her to be okay with that, you know? So I will get this done hopefully this week. It's supposed to already be done, but I got like the migraines and everything. I couldn't get stuff done on time, so it is what it is. And then I have a new custom order that's really just kind of play around and provide some samples, see if the customer likes it or not. And it is through Appalachia Gap store. The owner is named Jean. She has a customer who has been purchasing pre-felt fabric, if you will, from Amazon. She's making landscapes. So she wants the same thing she's been getting from Amazon, but she wants it locally made. And I don't do pre-felt, but I do bats, and she thinks that'll be perfect. I don't see why not. It's going to be needle felted as a landscape. Doesn't matter. I don't think so. And she wants a cream color. She wants specific colors. You can only find like the basic grayish white on Amazon, I think. I haven't looked into it that much, but she wants specific sizes, you know, dimensions. And I'm like, you can take a bat and you can stretch it out and tug it and manipulate it until it's the size you want. My garter only does certain sizes, but when you pull it off, you can make it any size you want. It just gets thinner the bigger you make it. So I have some playing around to do, card up a bat, manipulate it, measure it, see if I can get it to the exact dimension she's looking for, and then we'll go from there. So see how thin it is. Do I need to make 2? Do I need to make 1.5? She can overlap them, you know. So I got a little playing to do, and hopefully I can get that done this week while I'm playing around with Rolex anyways. So yeah, I'm going to try to get that taken care of as soon as possible because the customer is waiting for it. And then once I get it where she likes it, then she can order however many she wants, as frequently as she wants, and I will just be her supplier. And that's perfectly fine. Aside from that, the other blending and prep stuff I've done was I have made these spinning kits for my class that I was supposed to have Saturday, and nobody signed up for it. So I showed up with a kit and some knitting, and I prepped for the next class, which is my beginner knitting class. And I have these little samples from that day. We're going to knit little squares, we're going to cast on, we're going to knit, we're going to bind off, and we're going to have little coasters, little squares. And that's it. It doesn't matter how many stitches, it doesn't matter what yarn, what size needles, we're just going to have fun. So I have one student signed up for that already, which is my mother, but that's okay. She actually wants to learn. And then I have 4 of these ready to go for the next beginner spinning class. So I don't have as much work to do to prepare for those. And because I brought this in, now there's a possibility of making little spinning kits for people who just want a little something to do while they wait on their spouse to go fishing or whatever. Or a tourist is going to be on an airplane and wants something small to work on in the plane. So we're going to order some 3D printed spindles that are really small, put in a bag of 1 ounce of Rolex and a spindle, and put them in the shop so that people can buy them. When they're in there, they stop in and go, oh, this sounds like a cool thing to do. And they can do some spinning if they want to. I think that's a fantastic idea, and I'm really happy I went Saturday and hung out for the afternoon, even though we didn't have a class. I was there, and things happened because of it, and we have plans for the future. So that's fantastic. I will put in the show notes all the links to all the places, the Artful Barn website, the Appalachia Gap Facebook group, Facebook page, the phone number and everything, an email, all that to sign up for classes. All that information will be in the show notes. So you can find that information. If you're local and you want to sign up for any classes, whether it's mine or someone else's, there's plenty. I highly recommend you check out the links, and see what interests you. But I will put a screenshot of the schedule for July in here right now. I don't have the schedule for August yet. My spinning class is spinning with color. It's probably going to transition over to beginner spinning. We'll see which one is the more interesting class, the one that has the most interest, the one that people want. And if anybody signs up for one or the other, I'll just do whichever people sign up for. But more than likely, it'll be the beginner spinning class. So we're flexible. If a class time does not work out and you say, ooh, I'm available on this day, can we do it on this day? Then Jean will get with me and we'll talk about it and we'll figure out what we can do and we'll work it out. We're both flexible like that and I love it. I absolutely love working with her. She's amazing. So enough about that. We're almost done, I promise. I'm on the last page. On the last page of notes. Yay! So in the month of June, actually on Father's Day, I hung out with my mom. We went to Vogel State Park near Blairsville. I'm in Georgia, by the way. So it was about, well, we spent the whole day. We just had fun. We went to a watering hole where we used to go swimming all the time when I was a kid, and it was my favorite place to go. So we went down memory lane and we visited that place, and there was one part on the road we were on, and my mom's going, did I pass it? Did I pass it? And I'm going, no, I don't think you did. And then we passed this one spot that was always a landmark for me when I was a kid, and I went, I remember that. I remember that. I didn't remember the rest of it, just that one spot. I didn't remember, like I didn't recognize the actual location when we got there and we hiked the trail. I didn't recognize the trail. I didn't recognize the watering hole that we always swam at. But part of that's because the water was so high, you couldn't see all the rocks. And I was like, I'm pretty sure there was a flat rock right over there. My mom goes, yeah, it's usually above the water. Right now it's under the water. So I probably would have recognized it if the water hadn't been so high. But it was really cool to go, and we met a whole group of dads were out there with their sons, and they were doing a huge cookout, and they showed us the food they were cooking because we talked about how wonderful it smelled. And they had some really interesting ingredients, and it smelled so amazing, and it was so cool that they shared a little taste of their culture with us. It would have been great to taste the actual food, but sadly we didn't even ask because that's kind of rude to assume you're cooking so you're going to feed everybody that comes along. So we didn't ask, we didn't expect it, and we were not upset that they didn't offer. We were literally wanting to do our own thing. But it was really cool to see this culture, and they were from Jamaica and a couple different places in Africa, and it was just really, really neat to see a little hint of their culture and to have them be so friendly and open to total strangers. You know, two random white women walk up and start joking with them about the food. But it was fun that they were so open to us, and really the highlight of the day as far as I'm concerned. So after we played in the water and just enjoyed the waterfall, and I played with my camera settings, and I got some slow motion video of the water coming down, and it's so pretty. So I will throw in some of that footage in here. We saw a lot of rhododendron in full bloom, like it was everywhere. And there was one little mountain laurel bush that was blooming. It's really too late for the mountain laurel. It's already done. But I was able to get a picture, and then you can see the difference between the mountain laurel and the rhododendron because they look similar from a distance, but they're vastly different in person. And we walked around a lake that's close to Vogel State Park, or part of it. Cannot speak the name of the lake. It's a weirdly spelled, and I don't know what language it's originated from. Probably Native American language, probably Cherokee. I don't know for sure. So I can't pronounce it. My mom can't pronounce it. But we walked around the lake. It's got a really nice trail, And we kind of moseyed along, and I had my knitting with me. I was knitting these shorts. I was using this project bag, and the project bag was not set up properly. It wasn't wanting to work for me. The shorts were too heavy and dragging on me while I was trying to walk. So I was trying to tuck it under my arm and knit at the same time. And the bag hanging off my arm, and it was a mess. But I did knit and walk. I've got a little clip of that I'm going to throw in here because I'm proud of that. I had a couple of people going, whoa, you can do that and walk at the same time? I was like, sometimes, if it's mindless. But it was fun. And after a while, I just got tired of knitting, and I was like, I'm done. Just going to enjoy the walk, and that's it. So, and then when we were done, it was almost 3 o'clock, and we had not had lunch yet. And both of us realized we were starving. So then we had to go find a McDonald's and eat chicken nuggets because that's what I wanted. But it was a great day. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Got sunburnt. Got completely worn out. My hips did not like the hike at all. So I'm now exercising regularly, and you do them today, to get my hips and my knees in better shape for when we take the boys out there, which we're going to do sometime this month. And they're really looking forward to it. My mom is like, yeah, we can make as many trips as you want. It's her car. She drives. I can just enjoy the trip, spend all my energy having fun, and not have to worry about the drive home, because I get too tired to drive, and then I still have to drive, and then it's like, I'm not doing this again, you know? But anyway, it was a fun day. Loads and loads and loads of fun. Can't wait to do more. Can't wait to take the boys and share my favorite swimming hole with my children. That's cool. So the other nature-related thing that happened in June is my youngest went to a birthday party, and his friend's family lives on a lake. They went swimming. They had loads of fun. They have a beautiful home, a beautiful property. They got a bunch of dogs. And I really hit it off with the parents. I like them a lot. Very comfortable to be around, which is great. They're all about safety. They made all the boys wear life jackets to swim because you can't touch the bottom in the lake where they were swimming. They're swimming off the end of a dock. And I was like, oh, as long as I got a flotation device, I don't care about life jackets. But the mom was like, no, they're wearing life jackets. I was like, okay, I'm good with that. That's fine. But I didn't have to worry about anybody drowning. So that was huge. So thank you so much for loving your children and mine, you know? Anyway, when I went to pick the boys up, the mom was like, oh, we have all these little baby frogs at this part of the yard. And I went, what? Wait, baby frogs? I'm immediately thinking, those aren't babies. Those are little bitty frogs. Probably one of the chorus frogs, and I was right. We went out there to that spot. My boys were like, I don't know this lady. I don't know her at all. I'm not related to her because I was going crazy over frogs. So I went over there, and I'm chasing these little hoppers all over the place, and I get a handful of 5 little frogs in my hand. They're tiny. Like, they're the size of your fingernail. And I'm going to put a picture up in here because I did find one. Did identify them accurately. I thought at first, oh, these are cricket frogs. I've seen them before. The last place I lived had little cricket frogs. I'll throw a picture of that in first so you can see the cricket frogs. They're teeny tiny as well, but they're not the ones that we saw at the birthday party. Those are spring peepers. And do you know, I've only seen one spring peeper before and did successfully identify it at the time that I lived on the lake. But the ones that were all over our yard were the cricket frogs. So it was really cool to see a whole area it was like the ground was moving. There were so many of them with little itty bitty cricket frog, spring peepers. Little bitty spring peepers. Little moving bits of dirt is what they look like. And they were everywhere. So we all had fun playing with frogs for a little bit. My older son goes, yeah, one peed on me earlier. And I was like, well, yeah, it's a defense mechanism. They're gonna pee when you catch them. And the whole idea is for you to go, ew, and drop it. So it worked. I grew up getting peed on by toads, so I just don't care. You should wash your hands thoroughly when you're done. And I do mean thoroughly. So I got to play with frogs. And it was fun. And spring peepers, they come in a range of colors from lightest to darkest, like a tan color to an almost black. But the markings are all the same, and they look like they're a little warty, but they're not. They don't have any texture bumps on their skin. It's just coloration. And they are really, really cute. So I had my little froggy fix, and I'm happy. That's my bit of nature for today. And I share all of that with you because during my first YouTube live, which was Sunday, 2 days ago, June 29th, I did my first live video. We just hung out, we did some knitting, and had a blast chatting, and it was requested by one of the viewers that I put little bits of nature into my episodes. So I am making sure to put a little bit of nature in to the episodes and share some of my joy of that part of life with you, because I am an avid nature lover, bird watcher, like to identify plants, animals, random critters, birds, you name it. I like to try to identify it, and not just what is this, but like if it's a plant, is it edible, is it medicinal, what parts of it are useful, is it just pretty, you know, things like that. My grandmother helped to raise me, and she was an avid nature lover, and a 20-minute hike around a lake would take 4 hours because she wanted to stop and identify everything. So we would go everywhere with binoculars and several guidebooks. Insects, flowers, birds, trees, you name it, we had the books with us, and we had to stop and identify everything. But I loved it. It was the highlight of my childhood, was identifying all these things and learning all about them. You know, how do you tell if a snake is venomous or not, and how to respectfully hold and handle snakes and lizards and frogs and salamanders and all these things so that you don't injure them, and even how to safely handle a bird that has fallen out of its nest or gotten hit by a car and is stunned, or slammed into a window and stunned itself, you know, so that you don't injure it, and help it to recover so that it can then continue on its way and enjoy life. So that was a very, very rich part of my childhood, and it's delightful that you guys appreciate it and want to learn some of it, because it's such an important and special thing for me. Anyway, enough about all of that. I really enjoyed the YouTube Live, and I want to do them regularly. I'm going to see about doing them every Sunday. This one was started around 12:18 Eastern Daylight Time, because that's what we're on. And I had people popping in near the end of it, so I'm thinking of starting closer to 1 o'clock. But I'm not going to guarantee anything, because I'm going to eat lunch, and when I'm ready, I'm going to start the live on Sunday if I'm feeling it. That's how we're going to roll, because I'm not going to pressure myself for this. I have enough going on with Tour de Fleece this month, and that is the next thing to talk about. But it isn't. I have one more thing. Before we get into the goals and stuff for July, let's wrap up the goals from June that I was super, super proud of and happy with, that I am, not was. So we started June with a humongous number of videos to edit. And my goal was to get all caught up on editing, which includes the new videos I was creating also needed to be edited as they were done. But I started the month with somewhere around a dozen videos that needed editing. And I was way behind. I managed to get all of those done, plus all the new videos that I managed to film and edit and release in June. Some videos I filmed for July, some I filmed for August. Go me. And right now, not counting this episode, I have 3 videos ready to edit. Just 3. And they're all new. They're all brand new. So all the ones from the beginning of June are done. Yay! I rocked it this month. It was not easy, but I did it. I absolutely did it. And I only, I had 5 videos currently in the works, and I took 2 of them, just deleted the whole file, the whole folder off my phone, and said, I don't like what I was doing. I'm going to do something different. I'm not going to do this. I need space on my phone, and I'm not happy, so we're just going to get rid of it. Yeah. So I now have 3 videos ready to edit and 3 in progress, and we're not counting this episode. So that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. And I will have everything done before Tour de Fleece as far as the ones that are ready to edit. And if I don't, it doesn't matter. They're not due until August anyways. So who cares? Okay. What is my plan? What are my plans and goals for July? Well, I want to teach 2 classes. I haven't taught any yet. That was a goal for June. Didn't happen because no one signed up for the class. I know I'm teaching 1. I would like to teach 2. If they happen, they happen. If they don't, they don't. It's not the end of the world. But I definitely want to put my focus into teaching and get some momentum going on those classes, as that would be fantastic for me. And we're trying to schedule a craft-in day at the Appalachia Gap Studio once a month. We're going to give it a try. We're thinking about starting it in July, and I told Jean, if it doesn't work out, we'll just start it in August when kids are back in school. So I don't know when that's going to start, but that's okay. It's not super important. It's something that we would like to do. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it's no big deal, right? I'm going to show up and craft and stuff at some point here and there whenever I feel like it, or whenever Jean calls me and goes, I want you to talk my ear off. Because I do. I talk constantly. It's like the only time I'm around other crafters, so of course I'm going to talk her ear off. Anyway, my biggest goals for July are to film and release daily vlogs for Tour de Fleece. That is my biggest goal. I am not holding myself to it. I'm not holding myself to a strict every single day has to be a vlog, but I would like to do my best towards that goal. So I am going to work hard towards that. I'm super excited. Cannot wait to start. To make life easier on me, I will probably start my Tour de Fleece a couple of days early, get 2 or 3 days filmed, edit all of them, and get them scheduled out, and we'll just keep that going throughout the month. But you will get a daily vlog, except for the rest days. The rest days are the 15th and the, 21st, somewhere around there. I will correct that if it's wrong and stick it in here. So on those days, I have already filmed and edited videos scheduled and ready to go. There will not be a daily vlog, but there will be a video on those days. So, and I don't have to worry about them because they're already edited, they're already up, and they're already scheduled. I am on it this month. Like, seriously, it's amazing. Another goal is, of course, to finish the custom orders that I have currently on my agenda, already paid for, or people waiting to receive them so they can make a decision on how many they want. And that is a high priority, needs to be done immediately because that's money, and money is important. Another Tour de Fleece goal is to have weekly Zoom and Google Meet meetups. So we're running these in the Facebook group. I've already created a schedule. Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. We are not on standard time. We are on daylight time. So make sure you just calculate accordingly. If you're not on daylight time, that you allow for that difference. Because some places are and some places aren't, and it's really confusing for me. So on Zoom, we're going to do a regular Zoom meeting every Tuesday, 8 p.m. And for Google Meets, we're going to do those Thursday mornings at 11 a.m. And those are more silly because you can put on little hats. And I mean, there's like little filters and stuff in Google Meets that you can put on. You can turn yourself into an alien. You can do all sorts of fun stuff. So we can just be silly in that one. So I'm doing the serious Zoom meetings where we all get to hang out and spin and chat together. And then the Google Meets where we get to be silly and do whatever we want and spin. I don't really care. Have fun either way. But I'm looking forward to doing those. And I've done a Google Meet sample hangout with a friend, and it was so much fun. And we played around with the filters and had a blast. So I definitely want to use Google Meets for that. The only problem with this is I'm not paying for any memberships. So we have a 45-minute max time. So I'm aiming for 30-minute meetups. Video meets. Whether it's Zoom or Google Meets, I don't care. We're going to hang out and have fun. If you don't want to be on camera, don't worry. You can just hang out in the YouTube lives when they happen on the Sundays that they happen on. Those are not Tour de Fleece related. They're just hang out with me while I work. Whether I'm spinning or knitting or organizing or making roll eggs or whatever, it's just whatever. So that is what's going on for July. It's all Tour de Fleece because that is running in the 5th through the 27th. And I'm excited. I cannot wait for Tour de Fleece to start. I cannot wait to see what everybody makes. And I cannot wait to see what the month of July has to bring because June was pretty darn good. And it feels weird not to be doing the WAFA sales anymore. I now have the setup to do them. Like the technology is now fixed. I can do them without the technological frustrations. But I don't want to. It just feels weird not to have that pressure every month. And part of me feels like I'm missing out because I'm not doing these live sales and I'm not in that community, actively in the community anymore. And I feel like I'm going to miss out on so much. And I have to keep telling myself that I'm not missing out. I am moving in a different direction. And that is okay. So my focus is you guys. My focus is the Facebook group. My focus is Tour de Fleece. And my focus is the local community where I am a vendor and a teacher and trying to build more relationship around my business and stress less about the sales and the money. And I really love the custom orders. So definitely doing more of those. And I will make an announcement as soon as I have the details all figured out for upcoming Advent calendars. So I have mentioned this in my Tour de Fleece plans video. So I'm not going to go into any details right now, but I am going to be offering several options of Advent calendars. They are limited quantity for each one. Some of them are new to the list because of a custom order that came in, and it's not a paid for order. It's not an official order yet. It's a, can we do this for an Advent calendar? I want to order 2 or 1 or however many. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we can do that. And then of course I went overboard with it. And instead of doing 12 colors, which is what was requested, I now have 24. Technically I have 25, but the 25th one is not included in the price. It's a gift for Christmas. So, and it's supposed to be opened on Christmas Day. So yeah, that's as far as I've gotten on the details, and that's as much as I can tell you right now. Once I get the listings made and I have all the details ironed out, I will let you know so you can go check it out and pre-order yours. But I will have a minimum of 2 Advent calendars that will be ready to ship at the last minute. So I'll make 2 more than what is ordered. If your people are pre-ordering now, I'm going to make 2 more than what the pre-orders are. And then last minute orders, I will have enough to handle. And if nobody orders them, well, then I guess I get to spend them. Shocking, I know. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this lengthy and exciting and fun episode. It has been great. I've enjoyed talking with you. If you can't tell, I'm in a very upbeat mood today. Had a massive migraine yesterday and couldn't do a thing, so today I'm making up for it. And I'm getting all the things done, and I've been up since, as my dad would say, dark 100. It was 5:15 when my alarm rang. So I've been up since then. I've been up before the sun, and the sun rises pretty darn early. So I am full of energy because it's not yet lunchtime. It's like not even 11 o'clock yet, and I've done a ton of stuff, and I'm excited and I'm happy, and yeah, life is great. July is going to be fantastic. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. There's going to be lots of rain, and I don't care. We're going to have fun, and we're going to enjoy the last of summer, and we're going to enjoy Tour de Fleece. So if you want to be a part of Calypso Fairy's team, if you want to be a Calypso Fairy, join in the Facebook group. It is the Fairily Fiber Fun Facebook group. There is a Tour de Fleece chat and a whatever make-along we're currently doing chat. So make sure you join in the Tour de Fleece chat if you like such things. And let us know that you are joining Tour de Fleece. And if you are a knitter, crocheter, spinner, are you a wheel or spindle spinner? Because we have prizes for spindle spinning and wheel spinning yardage. All of that is in the Tour de Fleece plans video, I believe. So again, go check that out if you want to know all those juicy details. Links to the group and everything are down in the show notes of every video, pretty much. All the new ones anyway, as in for the last year or more. And I need to quit rambling and chatting and let you guys go so that I can go edit this video so you guys can enjoy it tomorrow, because it is scheduled to go out on Wednesday, July 2nd. So hopefully I will have it edited and uploaded and you will get to see it on schedule. Because sometimes I'm good like that. And other times I skip a scheduled upload and end up doing 2 in one day. That happened last week. I don't know how my brain did that, but it did it, and I'm sorry. You got 2 one day because I skipped a day because I scheduled wrong. The end of the month, my brain wasn't working. But anyway, it's working today. We're going to take advantage of it. We're going to get all the stuff done. And I'm going to go do my exercises, my stretches, eat some lunch, and edit this video. Look forward to hearing about all of your plans for July, and if you're part of our Tour de Fleece team, I look forward to seeing what you get up to during Tour de Fleece. All crafts are welcome and included. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys!